everyone. Semper Fi, my friends. We are SFMF Live, Sunday night. God bless you all. Hopefully you've had time to spend with the man upstairs. Happy Sunday, everyone. It is SFMF Live. Yes, we're starting at 18:15. That's by design. We're not late. We don't have any technical difficulties. We're starting now. Good evening. Got the production team here. Everyone's ready. A couple cool topics for the night. Can you hear those bells in the background? Let me get a sound check, please. Sound check. Mic check. 1, 2. Check mic, check mic. I see Menachem is here. Good to see you, Menachem. All right, a couple cool things to talk about today. We're on Wednesday, right? We're on Wednesday, yes, because we talked about the Marine Corps birthday. A little more from that. All right, David Bryant, water and lemon. That sounds pretty good. I might need some water too. All I have tonight is coffee. We'll see how that works out. It's been a long 4 days for us, a lot of traveling. We're going to talk about that here in a minute too. John McJunkin, good evening to you. All right, Menachem's drinking water. No, can I get some water too, please? 5 by 5. All right, Keenan, how you doing, brother? Good to see everyone. Good to see everyone. Here's a couple places that we visited over the last 4 days. We've done a lot of traveling since Wednesday, right? We were on Wednesday? We were. Yes. And remember, this coming Wednesday, there won't be. So next time, after tonight, next time we'll be together, next Sunday. Starting a Thanksgiving break for a lot of you. So, Doc Holiday, doing well, brother. How are you? Carl Green, present. Oh, speaking of which, can I get that clock? And it's warm in here. Got a fresh cut. Police my mustache tonight. Feel great. Good, Menachem. Marine Corps regs, right? Along your eye line, the Marine Corps mustache regulations. Corner of your mouth, a straight line. 1/8 of an inch below your nose and 1/8 of an inch above your lip and no more than 1/4 inch long. Silly. It's a silly mustache regulation requirement. But it is. That's what it is. Hi from the UK. Lord J. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us from the UK. Randall Knapp, good evening. Doing well, loving this Oklahoma weather. It's cool. It's got to be cool over there, right? Sky, good to see you. Yes, always one of them. No, don't do that Marine Corps regulation mustache. It's silly.
Happy belated birthday to Carl.
Happy belated birthday, Carl.
And tomorrow is Doc.
And tomorrow, Doc, you ready for your birthday? Tomorrow, we're all 39, right? Lay Cookie, good evening. Sergeant Major and producer, drinking some coffee. Me too, brother. Carl and SFMF crew, how we all doing tonight? What's good? Hi from Wales. All right, the Minecraft gal. All right, hi from the UK. Rain needs to go away, says Trouble. Present and accounted for. Salty, good to see you, brother. Hola, Ben. Carl says, thank you. I'm from Afghanistan, where you served. All over the place, Afghan. Yo, Doc, it's my best friend Sarah's birthday. Happy best friend, Sarah. Happy birthday, Sarah. Beauty, hi, Uncle. It must be one of my nieces. Trouble for sure. No habla español, Ben. Yes. The heck, you have rules for mustache in the Corps? Yes, we do, because Marines are fanatical about being Marines. All right. If we didn't, we would look like the Army. Just kidding. Just kidding, Army dogs. But seriously. Hi from Central Africa. All right, we're all over the place now. That's good. Getting ready for my cousin's wedding on Wednesday. Menachem. Good. What part do you play in that wedding? No crying, Menachem. You better tell us if you do. Man, already, right off the bat, we got some Johnnies. Doc Holiday, check out Bullseye Ben. All right. Kandahar, we have been all those places, brother. Getting turned, says Menachem. Sergeant Major, they need to bring back the mutton chops in the Marine Corps. Remember that? Way before my time, but yes. Even here, someone asked about there's rules for mustaches in the Marine Corps. Yes, there's also rules for your sideburns, right? The top orifice of your ear. That's where you start shaving. Boom. All the way down to your collarbone. No excessive hair. Yes, for uniformity, and it looks great. All the Marines look alike, but it's also for hygiene purposes. We go to the field, sometimes you don't have a proper shower in 4, 5, 6 months. So it's for hygiene purposes also. And they're great rules. I agree with all the Marine Corps grooming standards. Actually, for a while, I was thinking the hair should be, right now it's 0, gradually faded up to 3. You can have a maximum of 3 inches. 3 inches of hair on the top of your head looks pretty silly. So 0 to 1, I think all male Marines should be 0 to 1. The females should have never relaxed their grooming standards, should be still a tight bun. But men, I thought should be 0 to 1 for a while, even 0 to 2. Because again, 3 inches looks silly to go from 0 all of a sudden up to 3. That's about 3 inches. Too long, 0 to 1. And when should a good Marine need a haircut? Trick question, never. Good Marine never needs a haircut. Doc Holiday. Here's another for 2025. Road trip. Awesome. That's what we, speaking of road trip, are you speaking of the?
No, happy birthday to Doc. Was he here when you said happy birthday?
Yes, he was there. Doc, you got a birthday wish from the whole SFMF crew. Happy birthday to you, brother. Remember, he's turning 39? Right? We're all 39. Happy birthday and thank you, Doc. Rip Shadow, let's hear your question. Is it legit? WTR, USMC are allowed to have facial tattoos. That's a big negative. That's the one that has never changed. Our tattoo policy has migrated from all kinds of stuff, sleeves, no more sleeves. Now you can have a sleeve. If your hand can cover it, then it's legit. Nothing below. It's changed multiple times. One part of it that has never changed, nothing above the neck or below the wrist. So no face tattoos, no hand tattoos. Can I concur with that one as well? I'm not sure which beauty, not sure which one. Have you fed the kids in the basement yet? Always. It's on a rotating. They got a feeder down there, so they're good. Hello, human person. All right. Uh-oh, it's Sunday evening. All the trolls are showing up early. You're right, Salty. Right off the bat, man, they've been waiting. What were they doing before? Like when you go outside and all the gnats come, right? What were they doing a second ago before I got there? Were they waiting for me to come out? Flies? What was that fly doing 5 minutes ago? Why is he now on me? Yes, Salty. Be on the lookout. What hammers we got? We got any hammers tonight? How does a tattoo define the human soul? I'm with you, Bailey. Our tattoo policy, I think, is probably the most strict, but it's for the right reasons, I believe. You can get whatever you want as long as it can't be seen. That's for you. That's for your own soul. You got to live with that tattoo the rest of your life. Does your channel have a paid membership, Keenan? That's the, I'm looking at my producer right there. What's that called? Patreon. The Patreon page. What about chest tattoos? Again, anything on your, now when you go to boot camp, they do an inspection. So I think they probably, or they do at MEPS, even before you go. So no dumb tattoos, no racial tattoos, no gang stuff. Obviously look for all that. So it's, excuse me, before you get a tattoo, be smart. Make sure it's something that you want representing you and your name for the rest of your life. So I think it's good. I think our tattoo policy is actually pretty good. Now, there's waivers. Remember I talked about the wrist tattoo. It has to be, it's spelled out in the Marine Corps order where it can be so, like, I don't even know the dimensions of it, but it cannot touch that first wrinkle on your wrist or something like that, and they measure it. So be careful, be smart before you get tattoos. Wait till you join. John McJunkin, good to see you, brother. NCO wife. Mrs. Chambliss asks, why was my husband and the troops he served with in Korea able to wear their garrison hat tilted, but our great-great-grandson cannot? So unless somebody active duty, tell me right now, has that rule changed? You can wear it with a tilt. It doesn't have to be straight. And have them read the order. Don't tell everybody what you think on here if you know the answer to that, because you still can today wear it with a slight tilt. Back in the old Corps, those old Corps Marines did it often, right? You see the old pictures where it's kind of tilted to the side. Looks pretty cool. I never did it, but it's authorized. Can you get dishonorably discharged for having tattoo doctor in boot camp? Well, you're not going to be able to get a tattoo in boot camp unless you do one of them, something weird. But probably yes. If you violate anything, sure. I missed it, Keenan. Is that the question? That's way too much. Hot rods, Honda Civics, spoon engines. Just came into Harry's, ordered. Yep, way out of my league. Can you put on there how to sign up for the Patreon? Producer, I'm looking. Uber Wheels. Yes. Nice. We'll take the $1.99. Thank you. That's going to the channel. Man, look at Salty. You were right, man. They're coming to all corners of their mom's basement. Oh, that's from Fast and Furious. I saw the first one. After that, I lost interest in all the 18, 19, Faster, 22. Not sure how many there are. The band hammer needs a swing faster. Yeah, be ready. Where's our band hammers at?
Discombobulated you.
I am?
Threw me in that.
Mm-hmm. Have you served with Scouts? Miller. Not sure. Greetings from Poland. Jordan. All right, Jordan always has something legit to say. SFMF Veterans Day. Man, and I missed it. Darn it, Jordan. All right. Yeah, Jordan, please put it again. Oh, it is from the first one also. Man, you'd think I would remember that then.
Move on from the comments. There's a bunch of trolls.
Yeah. All right, the chicken has arisen. All right. Chicken, good to see you. Happy belated birthday to my fellow hard charges. Yes, and you know what? The whole month of November is to celebrate the Marine Corps birthday and Veterans Day. And here's what we were able to do. You've been talking with, we've had her on the show, Cece number 4, applying for scholarships and service academies, right? I think the first one she did was for an NROTC scholarship, Navy Reserve Officer Training Corps scholarship. Still waiting to hear. We should hear by the end of this month whether she received that or not. Hopefully, crossing our fingers, praying, we'll see. And we'll let you know. And she also applied for the Naval Academy, U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. So she just got invited. She did a 3-day weekend tour of it, 2 days actually. We spent 3 days up there. And it was pretty amazing. I had never been to a service academy before, didn't know much about all of them until now we have one of our children going through the process. And I've been telling you, right, kind of what this show's about. We want you to learn not the hard way like most of us learn. And we have been learning this process the hard way as well. It's a lot. It's a lot to do. And I think the whole basis of it, and they make it so difficult in tons of essays and letters of recommendation. You have to have a letter from a congressman or a senator. You can even apply for one for the vice president. All these are nomination letters that help you get selected to attend that service academy. Seems like a lot, and I'm telling you, my daughter spent the last 2 months up every night right in front of me in that desk over there just plugging away at essays. And I kept thinking to myself, man, this is so much. Why is it so much? But at the end of the day, how bad do you want it? That's who makes it into those academies, and they're prestigious accomplishments and difficult. So we've been kind of learning the hard way, not playing hurry up and wait or catch up, but we kind of are. Because what we learned from the about 200 kids that were also at this visitor weekend at Annapolis, and they're all at different stages of the process of applying for a recommendation or an acceptance letter. What was it called? Letter of an appointment. Letter of appointment, LOA. That's what you want to get. And it primarily, and there's a list of like 15, I think the list is like 19. The CFA, Combat Fitness Assessment, letters from your English teacher, your math teacher, 3, not random people, but 3 letters of recommendation from your community. Can be a teacher. She got one obviously from her JROTC instructor. People that have known her for a few years, that helps. And just listing her accomplishments. What else? A medical screening, right? You have to do the medical screening, and it's a specific medical screening for that particular service. And other PFTs or CFAs, those are all different too. The Naval Academy is different. It's the hardest one, I think, with the Marine option, right? Because there is no Marine Service Academy. Navy, Army, Air Force, Merchant Marine, Coast Guard. Those are the service academies. And their physical fitness test is a little bit different. And hers specifically was different because she did the the Naval Academy, CFA, Marine option. And the big difference was pull-ups and a 3-mile run instead of a 1-mile run. So all said and done, here's our advice to anyone, those of you that have kids that plan on applying for the Service Academy, or anyone on here thinking about applying for a Service Academy, start early. Start the end of your junior year, like the latest. Find out the essays that you have to do. And here's what, because they had a panel, so the parents got a brief, also a full morning brief, and then a walking tour in the afternoon. Again, great stuff. Learn tons about it. The Navy and the Naval Academy. You need to, one, start early. I can't stress that enough. Start early, start early, start early. But know as much as you can about the program. Again, of those 200 and something kids that were there, juniors and seniors, some are completely done already, and this is November. So they did early applications. 5, while we were there, got their letter of acceptance on the spot because they had completed everything. And the superintendent, what was the other guy's position? Not the superintendent, like the assistant superintendent maybe? He called up, he looked at all the applicants that showed up that day, the 200 and something, and he called 5 of them off. And those 5 out of all those hundreds of kids were the only 5 that were complete with everything. And they got it right on the spot. Pretty cool. So it's a long and tedious process. And I think what happens with a lot of kids is they do quit or give up. Right? Because it is so much. Because, oh, by the way, you're still in high school, you're still in your senior year, you still have to complete everything that you have to do for school to maintain that GPA. And we also did learn the importance of your SAT is important. Leadership is just as, or not more important. Because they have this school in particular, and I'm sure they all do, but this one has an 89% graduation rate, which is high. I think she said it was the highest. 89% graduation rate. And here's how they do it. Tutors are there. They have different programs for different classes. Tutors, possibility all throughout the day. So some of the kids are saying, yes, and one kid runs to each class. Like literally runs to the next class so she can get there early, start setting up, and probably start working on the class she's getting ready to receive. And at the end of the day, they eat Russian duck. They eat real quick. The food is amazing. My daughter said she loved it. They eat just so they can go back to the room or back to a teacher or to the library and study some more. So it is 4 years, it seems like, of studying. So the academic point is, the academic part, they're going to help you any way, shape, or form they possibly can. So the attributes that you probably want to have before you go, obviously a good SAT score, but leadership skills, community service, physical fitness, all the same things we're talking about in enlisting, physical fitness and mental toughness. You have those two things going in, they're going to help you with the grades. All right. Aloha State of Mind says most of the applicants open at the end of high school junior year, usually in June and July. Facts. So junior year, that's when applications open at most of the schools. I believe that. I don't know that for a fact, but I believe it. And that's when you should definitely start your junior year. So that's the end of your junior year, June, July. Most schools graduate in May, some in June. Start right away, and it's with the essays, and write 4 or 5. In the essays, most of them ask questions like, again, leadership. We talked about it a little bit last time. Leadership challenges you faced, how you overcame them, what can you provide to the service? Why do you want to serve your country? Military and your family, community service, all those things are important things you do your entire school career. Very important. All right, so that's what we learned from our visit to the U.S. Naval Academy. They have about 4,500 candidates a year. Is that what they're called? And they do it. They have a regular school schedule, 4 years. The plebe system is your first year. You're a plebe for a whole year. Then it's still figuring that part out, but it's C1 is the first year, C2, C3, C4. Stands for Canada, I'm not sure. Chicken says, I look forward to when the ensigns would come train with the companies. I would tell them to go as gunny for a bottle of prop wash, yes. So yes, I've trained with some midshipmen also. The candidates will come 2 weeks out of, I'm guessing their senior year probably. I think they did say their senior year, and they would do different, they do a couple different ones. They'd go to the Navy, they go to the Marine Corps, they go to subsurface. I'm not sure. Navy has, what are their badges or insignia, sub-warfare, warfare ground, whatever. But the midshipmen would go, one time we had them, and we happened to be on ship. I don't know why they would send them to us while we're on ship. They could have done that with the Navy. But they did send us with an infantry unit, send them to us. It's like 6 of them. And just like Chicken says, we thrashed them. We tried them well, treated them well, but of course we messed with them also. And give them, yes, tasks like that. Find the Humvee keys, get a box of level bubbles. What else? Board stretchers, a couple miles of flight line, whatever we could. All right, this Naval Academy used DODMERs for medical clearances. Not sure, Aloha State of Mind. DODMER, it sounds familiar, that really does. Again, we sat through about 10 briefs that morning, but that sounds familiar. DODMER, did they talk about that? Dave Bryan says, nothing scared me more than ROTC at the range. Yes, and remember, these are midshipmen, right? So they've been in school the first 3 years of their after school. So I don't know how much range time they had, but they definitely do. I think that's a very important part of the midshipman training, is to get them out in the fleet with the Navy and Marine Corps and see what they're getting ready to get themselves into. First-hand knowledge, OJT, best way to learn a lot of things. And it's all about experience, right? Finding out what you need to do. There was one midshipman we talked to, he's prior service Navy, so they also do take prior service. You don't have to be fresh out of school, but you do need those nomination letters, and you need to be selected. 4,500 a year, I think that number sounds familiar. 4,500 midshipmen, new ensigns in the Navy, and a few, that's what we should ask, how many what percentage go Marine option. But very interesting. A lot to learn about it. They do this tour, I think, twice a year. Other schools, other academies may be different. But what it did open my daughter's eyes up is to apply for all of them. You never know what that particular school, that particular superintendent is looking for that year. But you can guarantee it's leadership. Keenan, hey, Shaman, you got to hop off. Good night, ladies and gents. Can I get a prayer request in first, though? Yes. Let's hear it. Keenan, absolutely. 100%, brother. Jordan, did a Veterans Day walk. Thought about the people who are currently serving our country and the ones who passed away. Each and everyone who has served the military is a hero in my heart. Amen, Jordan. Us as well. We feel the exact same way. Again, November's been a great month. Veterans Day and the Marine Corps birthday. Poolee Umigachi asked, my old recruiter was willing to help me get the career job I want, but now the recruiter is not willing to do. So what should I do? Don't join unless you're getting what you want. You just might have to wait. There's reasons behind it. We talk about recruiters all the time. They got a tough job. The pressure's on them to get so many people in each MOS. Male, female, ship dates, all those things are under a ton of pressure. But here I wouldn't let one of my children join for something that they didn't want or when they wanted to go. So stay on them, push them, talk to another recruiter. All right, talk to the staff and chill. Al Palmer, no. Chicken. Best one is go ask the gunning for the prick E7. 100%. That's a classic. That's a classic.
Well, they're not showing up any longer.
Yeah, the comments coming kind of weird. Copy of a copy. R.I.P. Mike Tyson. See that fight? See that production? See that show? A little bit of theatrics to that. All right, a lot of it. Still love Mike Tyson. Lucio. Yes. I personally don't believe in God, but as long as you fulfilled you, that's on you. John, just be proactive. All right. So while we're in, we just please tell me if the prayer request comes up. Old Jerry says, don't forget frequency grease. Tons of them. Lay Cookie, ID10T form. Yes, that's another classic, the ID10T form. I need some of those right now. The two women in that fight were warriors. That was the best fight of the night. In fact, the best fight in a long time, Chicken. I'm with you on that. That was an awesome battle. Two warriors out there. That made the entire fight card was good because of them. That was awesome. While we're in Maryland, and we're West Coast people and family, here it is, Keenan. Ashley and I are in the home buying process. Prayer for God's direction and wisdom on a house with 15 plus acres so I can start my range training facility. Absolutely, Keenan, 100%. We'll be praying hard throughout. Please keep us posted. That's a great dream right there, and that's all about it. Same thing, be aggressive, be patient, and make sure it's exactly what you want. But God bless you both, and prayers up for you. Always. Man, that's tough. While we're in the East Coast, that side of the world, which we love it, it was cold. Which one? There was, remember we talked about also the Marine Corps birthday. You gonna use a whiteboard for something? All right, look at Keenan. Everyone's with you. You got this. All along the East Coast, again, kind of new area to us. Been there for school. I've been to Quantico for meetings, briefs, but never spent a whole lot of time over there. And it's nice. It's nice this time of year. It's starting to warm up. We did, remember, on the Marine Corps birthday, has that only been a week? It's only been 1 week since the birthday. Ton Tavern. Never, I'm telling you, just the whole idea of that, wishes and prayers to the Marines that are getting that set back up for our future for the 250th birthday. How great would that be? I even saw a couple memes on there where this guy just wants nothing more. And he already said he's going to be there. So while we're in that area, we did stop by where the old Ton Tavern near, the placard says, near this spot is where the Marine Corps started in 1775. The birthplace of the Corps. And they're getting ready to move that so they can start construction. They're going to move that sign. And we didn't spend very much time there at all, but you just saw random Marines would come up, take a picture, and take off. And right now, again, it's only a placard. But man, I hope it happens a year from now, actual replica of Ton Tavern in that very same spot. Looking forward to that. Johnny Doe, what did you do for Veterans Day? We did a couple different events on Veterans Day. Another awesome day. And again, I'm glad it falls in November as well. One of my daughter's high school did a whole production. I'm guessing they opened it up to all veterans, but I think most of the veterans there, and there was a lot from students that went there. Great, they served us all lunch, and we went into the gym. They had a whole production of a couple singers, a couple actors, all students. And they put on a production of even deploying and a soldier's brother died in combat and how they dealt with it back home. They did a sword detail, flag detail, and a speech at the very end, just thanking our veterans for what they do day in and day out. It's awesome. Then we went to a local park where they also recognized the local veterans. This particular park had a new Iraq and Afghanistan plaque of anyone KIA from that local area. So it was great, just a great time to spend with some fellow veterans. Awesome. All right. It was good. It was very nice. Yes, Matthew Askren. Mattis, I'm telling you, he wants to be on the show bad. He loves it. He would do well in that, I think, that cool weather too. He just loves to run. All right, from the producer, prayer request for Keenan and Ashley, praying for the guidance and blessings for the Lindsays and their journey to create a range training facility. There you have it. Keenan and Ashley, there you go. Matthew, getting a run in between football games. Good on you. Some PT all day, every day. While in Annapolis, we also did get to see the Navy play, which they got smoked. It was a terrible football game, but the cool parts and my favorite part, one, the march on of the cadets. That's pretty awesome. They had a flyover. I'm not even sure what kind of aircraft. They did the missing man formation. And then halftime with the Navy band. Man, it's awesome. Just how they march. Made a big anchor on the field. It was cool. The entire production, the midshipmen were working it. If they weren't in the band or on the field doing the march on, they were working concessions. They were cleaning up. Just a whole community. A lot of alumni, most alumni go, they show up early. The tailgating, they have their areas for, class of 89, class of 76, class of whatever. They're all out there representing the Navy. It's pretty cool. I'm sure the Army-Navy game is probably the biggest production, but this one, this past weekend, was a sold-out game. It was their last game of the year, and it was against Tulane, which is having a great season as well. So it was good. The whole experience was great. It was nice being there. Casey, prayers up for you as well. Tough times. Sorry you're going through it. God has a plan for you. Stay strong. Amen. Poolee Mendoza asks, Are the Marines actually getting rid of the Scout Snipers course? The new recruiter here told me not to waste my time looking into being a Scout Sniper. That is a fact. I thought they already got rid of them. I didn't know if they're still, if the school is still in action or not. But they are. They got rid of the MOS Scout Sniper. But I think, in just my own personal opinion, what they're doing with the snipers that are already snipers, they're still probably, I'm guessing, they'll utilize them for the same type of mission. That's the problem, is their missions are less and less because of technology. Drones. They have drones that can. A sniper's primary position is observation, right? Intel, gathering information. Very rarely do they get a target that they can shoot, because they're just there to gather information. And that's what drones do. You don't stand a chance to lose a sniper. You lose a Marine. We can afford to lose a drone if it goes down or it gets shot down, but we don't want the Marines getting shot. So I think that's their mindset, is to save Marines from going off into the bush for a week at a time, hiding, getting that information, sending it back to the rear when they can just send a drone. But I think they'll still use snipers for those particular missions. Any kind of snoop and poop mission that needs to happen, they're still going to use snipers. But yes, they are getting rid of the MOS. Not too happy about it. Personally, I'm not a sniper. All right, look at David Rodriguez. Every Marine is a sniper, and to a degree, that's true. Every Marine is to gather intel anywhere and everywhere they go, 24/7. You're acting like a sniper. You just don't get sent to a hide and spend 3 weeks in that spot gathering that type of information. But all Marines are trained to do that very stuff. Look at David says, tell that to Carlos. Carlos Hathcock, not going to be very happy about it. Randall, there were 2 Marines from my high school graduating class of 86 out of 187, out of 187 students. I just met the other Marine, Mike B, today over beers. Awesome. That's awesome. The best part about being around that area, again, just the love, the camaraderie, the patriotism, and seeing Navy and Marine flags everywhere. Here it says, sorry, but that's kind of weird. How in the hell have we equivalent Navy-born infantry, Marine Corps with no snipers and no battle tanks? I'm telling you, it's a shifting battlefield here. I mean, old timers are like you, thinking, how in the hell can we fight without snipers and tanks? Times are changing, technology's changing. How much of it's going to be boots on the ground? And I'm a firm believer, 100% of the time, you're always going to have boots on the ground, no matter what kind of technology you're going to have. After in the BDA, the battle damage assessment, that has to happen with boots on the ground. So infantry Marines are still going to be on the ground, probably just less and less. And they'll never be able to get rid of the infantry. Let me knock on wood. I don't want to be proven wrong. But I think boots on the ground always have to happen. That's why they're combining infantry battalions, right? To have less and less. Boots on the ground, I don't think they can ever get away from that, ever. But they're small. Things are changing now. After November 5th, things are going to change for the military 100%. Looking forward to seeing all the changes. Corps got rid of tanks, now snipers. Pray the Commandant has the foresight of General Lejeune. I'm with you, old Jyrene. Gunner Sergeant Carlos Norman Hathcock is turning in his grave. I think so too. Tanks are getting knocked out left and right by the tiny drones in Ukraine. Times are changing fast. I'm with you, Menachem. I deployed in 06 and 08, and those 2 deployments, everything changed. In a small time frame of that, things changed. How the hell are door kickers going to do a job with some sniper, without some sniper overwatch? Again, I think we're going to continue to use them in that capacity. But I'm telling you, I wouldn't want to walk the streets with no sniper overwatch. Basically, every MEF is a miniature military with air, sea, and ground elements. That's right. Here, and I don't think we'll ever get away from the MAGTF either, Marine Air Ground Task Force, with all those elements. Just instead of a sniper platoon, it's going to dwindle down to a sniper squad. All right. Who's in those on those boards? Who are in those think tanks? Are they getting some Lance Corporal ground pounders that are walking the streets of Afghanistan and Iraq? Are they hearing from them as well? Let's hope so. What branch has the best chow? I'm guessing Air Force. It's all good. It's all relevant, what you make of it, right? I have no complaints about Marine Corps chow, none. MREs either, no complaints. Call the Navy SEALs snipers. Probably they have sniper skills as well. What are they going to do with the Navy SEALs? Think they're going to make them smaller? I don't know. Things are changing. Same thing, chicken. Why did they get rid of Anglico? Again, the mission is changing with technology. Just like the fact that we're trying to get more cyber warriors, right? That's the huge push right now. Talked about that about a half a year ago, how they're implementing civilians with cybersecurity training just to get more cyber trained individuals into the military. Just add hot sauce to anything, David Bryan. You add some hot sauce, a little tap of sugar, whatever else you have in your accessory pack, always makes the meal better. I like the MREs. Cyber warrior, yes, old Gyrene. Sounds like a pogue on the couch. So you missed the whole conversation, old Gyrene. I think I did a short about it. We talked about it on a live. They're talking about getting college trained civilians and making them gunnies in the Marine Corps. They do some Marine Corps training, very little, I'm sure, maybe a PFT, some staff NCO classes, maybe the academy. Not sure what they're doing, but they're going to start sprinkling them throughout, I'm guessing, regiments, infantry regiments, for their cybersecurity knowledge and experience. Again, I'm 100% with that. I'm all about it. If that's where we're heading and that's the kind of expertise we need, train the Marines up to it, right? Let them go through the process, yellow footprints, OCS, whatever route they choose, train them in those cybersecurity, cyber warriors, cyber getting some. But to make a civilian or a prior service, anyone, and just give them gunnery sergeant, and now you're a part of this COC, Combat Operations Center, as a prior service or just a college boy or girl, and make them gunnery. That's the part I have a problem with. But if we need more cyber trained individuals, let's do it. Let's call them contractors, right? Call them Mr. or Mrs., the new cyber team from wherever. They don't need to be gunning. How do you follow them with limited experience? And that's the thing, David, I'm with you on that as well. I will 100% listen to everything they got to say for cybersecurity, but I wouldn't expect one of them as a sergeant major, I get this new gunny in, I'm expecting him to do gunny things, right? Gunnies make it happen. Gunnies know how to get MREs and a 105 trailer to carry the MREs and the LZ is set, and we got the landing markers, we got everything we need because he's a gunny or she's a gunny, and that's what company gunnies do. But if this is someone straight out of college who's never been on the yellow footprints or to SOI or MCT, those are the particular, or just living in the barracks life, being a leader in the barracks, all those things are what make gunnies gunnies. So that is what the portion of that whole thing I have a problem with. All right, Poolee asks, so I've been working out a lot, even got a good 3-mile run time, but have no way to deal with my fear of heights. Suggestions? Yes, start going higher and higher and higher. Whatever it takes. You got to get on a high dive at a swimming pool, climb on your roof. You have to do it. You have to overcome that fear. Obviously take someone with you, make sure it's safe, all those things, but climb a tree. Get up and experience those heights. Go to these rock climbing, rock wall places, go up 10 feet, go up 20 feet, train and learn how to do it. You got to find what you can do to deal with it. You have to, though. Again, certain aspects of training in the Marine Corps, you can't do, you're not going to be a Marine. So go for it. Air Force and Space Force are big on cyber. I think we're all going to be big on cyber everything here very, very soon. No Marine would respect that. Old Jyrene, I'm with you. I think they're going to have some issues with that guy wearing gunnery sergeant rank. I'm with you. Some cyber elements would have to be embedded with frontline troops. Again, those are the ones that, as soon as we realized this 20 years ago, we should have started training those Marines in specifics of cybersecurity. And by then, 20 years later, 10 years later, they're staff NCOs or gunnies, whatever they need to be. Straight out of college, like the character lieutenant ring in the classic Heartbreak Ridge, which is kind of half truth. I think that's pretty accurate as well. Seen some lieutenants like that. And the biggest thing is, and I talked to, met someone over the weekend, and he was telling me he was a commander, and I don't know, I think his brother or a very good friend of his, went to the Naval Academy, became a Navy officer, and he said all I could tell him, the best advice I could tell him, the only thing I told him was listen to your staff NCOs. I think that's the best advice in the world for any new officer of any branch of service in any rank. Listen to your staff NCOs. And we're married up like that on purpose, right? You get a college, someone right out of college who has tons of knowledge and experience in college, but he has no battlefield experience. So they pair you guys up, right? In the Marine Corps, your typical platoon sergeant and platoon commander is a staff sergeant enlisted who's been there and done that, experienced it from day one, from anywhere from 8 to 12, 14 years maybe, and the lieutenant right out of college who has no experience, but the knowledge and the capability and the leadership and everything they learn in college and the basic school and officer candidate school. So they put them together. As long as they can work together, the staff sergeant knows the lieutenant is in charge. He's the commander. What he says goes, and vice versa. The lieutenant knows that the staff sergeant has the experience. So they discuss it together. Love it. Ring, listen, shout, courage, and listen. Lay cookie. Wait until EMP takes out all electronics and we are back to being Marines, beating things. I'm telling you, wait till all your land navigation, wait till your Garmin goes out and you can't just plug in a grid coordinate, map and a protractor, map and compass. That's how you have to get around. All those things take out our electronics, take out our communication systems. Now what? So we can't get away from that training. So I mean, we had a lieutenant that was just like that. Remember that one? He didn't make it very long because I'm in charge, we do as I say, but he had zero experience, zero life experience as a Marine. Listen to your staff NCOs, listen to your enlisted. That's what you get when you mix politicians and the military. I concur, Jared. John Wells. Too much, out of my league, Wells. Lay Cook, you can say that again. Let Marines get back to being Marines, right? Bayonet, fix bayonets, brother. We can't get away from any of that. Yes, in God we trust, amen. Right, look at Lay Cook, nailed it. Pull on the NCO sword and put the NCO sword in action. We still are the only branch of service who is authorized to carry swords into combat. The Marine NCO sword, still in our arsenal. We can actually go to combat with that NCO sword. So earn it, NCOs. If we just get to claim rank, we're not. Well, I definitely identify as a Master Gunner Sergeant, Chronister. Another Poolee asked, Poolee Collins, does the Marine or any branch still give combat field promotions anymore during wars? That's a great question. And the last one was in Vietnam. So I don't think it's a black and white no, as of this date we stopped doing it. I think it just stopped happening. Now here's what I'll tell you. In my first, didn't happen in Desert Storm or Somalia, but one of our Iraqi tours, we did, a lieutenant got injured, launched him out of there, we made the platoon sergeant was now the platoon commander. So officer billet, we didn't promote him, he didn't become a lieutenant. He just held that billet. And then we moved another NCO, a sergeant up. So the platoon commander in an officer billet was actually an enlisted, a staff NCO. So billet combat promotion, if you will, but he didn't actually take his rank off and become a lieutenant. That's a great question. I looked that up. Maybe we can find out combat promotions, because there was a ton in Vietnam. I'm sure all leading up to Vietnam as well. Right? You'd be a PFC one day, you lose your entire chain of command, next thing you know, you're a lieutenant. So that's when you hear lieutenants, first lieutenant, captain, and they only did like 3 years. You know, how in the hell you get captain in 3 years? Combat promotions. Annie Benani, there it is, right there. Double tap that screen, double tap it, double tap it. Like and subscribe. Friends, families, neighbors, all good stuff here. Love this community. And I didn't do any shorts this week. I apologize, but we've been traveling all week. Some great, great stuff. All right, words can't express how upset the whole free E7 crab meat. I'm with you, Jared. I'm trying to keep it to a minimal. It hasn't happened yet, right? As far as we've heard, I don't know if anybody has heard. Has it happened yet? Is there any college gunnies out there? Man, what are they going to call them? Why can't they just put them in a similar uniform? Still give them flak and helmet, all the same gear. Just their uniform can be a slightly bit different, and you call them contractors. That has been happening forever, since Desert Storm. All through my time, there's contractors that do certain specific jobs that they are the subject matter expert in, but they do it as a contractor. Meritorious promotions are still happening, David Bryant, absolutely. Which I hope that never goes away too. Now with the new, you cannot pick up the rank of E5 sergeant just by time of grade and meeting the cutting scores in the Marine Corps. You have to hit that 4-year mark, that re-enlistment. Now you're eligible for sergeant unless you receive a meritorious promotion. So that's still happening. I'm glad it does. I hope they don't get away from that. Jared says, real gunnies should protest that junk. And that's the thing, they're real gunnies, right? How would you feel? I'm thinking if I'm a gunny, and I'd loved being a gunny. That was awesome. Company gunny for 3 different companies. I loved everything about being a company gunny. I don't know how I'd feel about some guy straight out of college wearing my uniform and my rank. Be a little upset about that. I was a private security contractor, Salty, exclusively in the Middle East after the Marine Corps from 15 to 22. How do you feel about it, Salty? Do you think these guys should be authorized to wear and be promoted to the rank of gunnery sergeant as a contractor? Yours a little different because you're a Marine, but not a Marine. Were you still able to do your job as a contractor, or would it have been easier if you were wearing the uniform and a higher rank? And Randall, I missed yours right there. Let's know what you think, Salty. Chicken, got a split. Good to see y'all, Semper Fi. Semper Fi Chicken, always, brother, pleasure to have you on here. We'll see you next Sunday, 1 week from today. No Wednesday live this week. Old Jerry says, all Marines need to protest this. I think we should all contact the office of the commandant. So here's the thing, I think so also, unless enough people start bringing it up or give their feelings on it, nothing's going to change, because they got in a little think tank and they came up with this and they were planning inside a box, if you ask me. Salty says, contractor absolutely should not be given rank. There you go. That's from a Marine who was a contractor. This content did not meet our standard. Did you read that? Look at, pull it down from YouTube. It's not real. Has there ever been a gun developed that can hold a beer can? That's a good one. NCO wife, Mrs. Egerton, asks, Sergeant Major, do you have a younger brother as handsome as you that might be single so my daughter can find a decent husband to marry? No, I am the youngest of my family, John McJunkin and that NCO wife. Marines, find a good Marine. My last gunny had 17 years in. Again, a gunny was 17 years or a high school or a college graduate. And you heard, Salty was a contractor, is a Marine, got out, became a contractor. He concurs that contractors do not need to have rank. They have their job and they have their pecking order, they have their chain of command inside their contractor community. This guy is a contractor, or girl would be a contractor in a COC, a Combat Operations Center, and they all have their, not a whole lot of leadership going on in there. They're not the gunny contractor, all right, everybody take out the trash. He's got a job to do. The cybersecurity, that's his wheelhouse. That's what he's got to do. He can do that in a jumpsuit, in something other than a Marine uniform with gunnery sergeant rank insignia. There you go, Miss Egerton. Salty single. He's a young Marine. Get after it. So that one is still high. We're gonna have to check on that, the whole cybersecurity training, see where they're at on it. You know, it was interesting in the article that I did read, Marines were in there. There was, I think, a gunny or a master sergeant was saying what a great idea it was. Just made me wonder what that master sergeant did for her career. Don't worry, Madam Producer. NCO wife, Ms. Egerton, is married. She was looking for someone for her family member. Jared, saw him for a minute earlier. Who is that? Who's asking about? Randall, I'm a corporal. Do not want someone given my NCO rank either. And that's exactly what it would be. It talked about they would go through some training, what that entails, not boot camp, or OCS. I think those are two intense training that you must go through, right? The other follow-on training, NCO school, staff NCO school, there's tons of schools that are follow-on training. But the initial break you down to build you up, take that selfish mindset out of your mind, vocabulary, and make you a part of a team. Done. Junkin, I was about to auction him off, so no worries. I'd be curious to what an active gunny thinks about the whole thing. I'm with you, Jared. Again, did they pool the entire E7 community and say, hey, guns, this is what we're thinking about doing. Can we get your input on it? I got to believe that it'd be 99% to 1 saying, no, this is not a good idea. Dave Bryant, if staff NCOs have to have a college degree, what's keeping them from becoming a warrant officer? It's another good point, and a lot do. I think a lot more than I ever realized, but staff NCOs do. They go to college while they're enlisted up the ranks, get their degree, and then they make that decision, either go full commission or warrant officer. So there's nothing stopping them. Right there, old Jyrene. I don't think Pete Hegseth would allow this stuff to go on. I think we're going to see a lot of great things out of him. I can't wait. He's going to be awesome. Good morning, good morning. Lay Cookie says, hell, I don't want the rank of private given. We earned that title. Amen, brother. From day one. Day one. He says it right there. Again, if you did not step on those yellow footprints, I don't know where they have an OCS. They have intense training. I know that, trained by enlisted sergeant instructors, right? Prior service or prior drill instructors, that's who teaches the officers. And of course, drill instructors in boot camp. So if you didn't go through one of those two training pipelines, you ain't getting the uniform. All right, guys, should I join the Marines or the Navy for the SEALs, says Johnny Doe. I'll let everyone answer that. I think y'all know my answer. Of course, Marines. Join the Marine Corps, join the hardest branch first, and then make an assessment from there. SEALs are badasses, no doubt. We'll never take anything away from the SEALs. Join the Marine Corps, be a Marine, and then see if that's not enough for you or if a SEAL is actually something you want to do. Damn right, Lake Salty says, no rank should be given. I miss it. They're flying. Johnny Doe, go Marine Corps, you'll be a Marine. If you go Navy, but fail buds, you'll simply be a sailor stuck in a job you don't like. Lake Cook, second hoorah. deserves a yut. It's earned, never given. How was it taught to you? It is God, country, core. Amen. Era. OCS used to be E6 and E8 instructors. I think it still is, but they're called sergeant instructors. But yes, they're staff sergeants, gunnies, just prior drill instructors. I earned the title private a few times, yes. Second award, third award, private, lick cookie. You got the little badge on the end of yours. Make those office jockeys do a PFT. 100%. Those cyber guys, they better be doing PFT and a CFT and qualifying on the range. They better be doing basic Marine stuff. But again, do you expect that of your gunny to be doing basic Marine stuff? They should be a full-fledged, experienced by gunny. Well, you've done it all. All right, John McJunkin. Harper asks, my young Marine unit will be helping with the Toys for Tots program this holiday. I'm going to be a part of a good group of them as well. Toys for Tots, awesome, awesome program run by the Marine Reserves. So if you have a business, you know somebody with a business and you want to support the Toys for Tots, get with your local recruiters and they can come put a box at your establishment. And for those of you that don't know, the Toys for Tots program is for less privileged kids that don't get presents on Christmas. And Toys for Tots does very, very, very well, extremely well. A lot of people donate, a lot of great Americans out there that want to help. And the Marine Reserves, they'll set up the box and you'll see them in different businesses, usually big places like Walmart, Target. They put a box, Marine stand out there. People put unopened, brand new unopened presents in the box. The Toys for Tots program will come clean those boxes out so they can fill them up again. Tons and tons of presents. It's an awesome program. Support it however you can. And as a young Marine, you can stand outside that box as well and just demonstrate, get in your blue dress uniform and greet people and watch how generous people are. It's awesome. Jared, I was a young Marine drill instructor in 99, 2001. Major Butler was my CO. That the same Butler I had? Captain Butler? You were there 90, 99, 2000? No, he wouldn't have been down there that long, 94, 96. You remember his first name? And my producer's looking up. I had a Captain Butler, was our CO in Bravo Company. Mount Vernon, Illinois, Jefferson County. Is that where that box is going to be? JTB, good to see you. 1046 Bravo Company, home of the shooter. Jared, short, dark green. Jim Butler, oh, different. Ours was, I remember his first name, tall white guy, tall light green Marine. JTB, New to this. I finally got the score I wanted on my ASVAB. Congratulations. New to this. What'd you get? Hopefully, well, I'll wait till you tell us, but good job. Now it's time to pick your MOS. So make sure you look through all the 140 MOSs that there is and get exactly what you want. Work it with the recruiter. If you have some options, some opening, you're open-minded to some of it, work with the recruiter best you can. But that's awesome. What you did by scoring well opens up your possibilities, right, to some of the higher rated MOSs. Let's hear what your score is. So I'm interested now. I'm at work, lurking. Bryce Wilborg, good to see you, brother. Don't let nobody see. Keep it slick on the DL. Or actually show somebody. If they catch you, just show them, hey, come check this out with me. Joy, good evening, everyone. I just seen that you went live. Hope I'm not late. You're here. You made it. Congratulations. Every Sunday. We did start a little late tonight, but again, that was by choice. Every Sunday. We'll be here every Sunday and every other Wednesday, so not this coming Wednesday. Every Sunday, 1800 CST, Central Time. So good evening, Joy. Thanks for joining us. Needs of the Corps comes first, David Bryant. That's why, keep that in mind, new to this, the needs of the Corps come first. But if you're open, I remember when I joined, I was like, I don't even care. I didn't go open contract just because my recruiter said, "Now you want to pick one," and I did. I did not get the score I wanted. I got the score I deserved. It's kind of what I got. So 26, that was for Jared. Prep. Doc, right there, Doc nailed it. Prepare, study, prepare, study, prepare. Once you get the score that you're happy with and the job openings, it opens up jobs that you may want, continue to prep. Physically fit, mentally tough. 26, that's about right. Didn't they change the scoring to, I remember when I took it, I don't know why like 119 sticks in my head. I think that was the first score. I think I got 110, then I studied, took it 2 weeks later, got a 119. But I think the scoring scale is different now because 86 is a great score. Mine was more around the 86 mark. That's awesome. Anything in the 80s is great. Well, it was a joke, but now I have questions. Yeah, I don't know how the scoring goes now, but I've also seen some scores that were in the single digits. So those guys need to go back to the books and study some more. But 80's good. I got an 81, 110 GT. Nailed it, Salty. Let's hear the question. It definitely is even taking the ASVAB, I remember my recruiter came and got me, come to MEBS to take the ASVAB just to get out of class. And there are some, the mechanical one, the engineering one, I guess throws everyone off, but I think they've adjusted it over the years. And it does get you so you can be basically, here's what they don't want to do. They don't want you to do poorly on the ASVAB, take you anyway, and then spend all that money into trying to make you a Marine in that MOS that you chose, and you don't have the GT for it. Then they just wasted all that money, and now they got to move you around, fill that spot with someone else. David Bryant, 106 is a high school dropout. There you go. Yeah, 86 is okay, but I thought I'd get way higher. You know, what'd be funny is all of us old timers taking the ASVAB now to see what kind of score we would get now. I'd be interested. Wonder if someone could do that for us, allow us to take it. Rashad Marquez says, what's the prep for the armed services? Obviously, ASVAB, that's a pre-military test. What's prep for armed services? That is. ASVAB is it for armed services. Again, physical fitness, mental toughness, all those things. Poolie Taylor asks, is the Marine Corps Arctic training as good as, I didn't see the rest of it, but we do absolutely have cold weather training. Some of it, the only one I can speak on is the one I've been to in Bridgeport, California. And that's some cold weather training. You do the cross-country skiing up and down, the snowshoes, the snow caves, crossing rivers, crevasse rescues. So there's some pretty intense cold weather training in Bridgeport, California. But where's our Arctic training is somewhere else, Antarctica, something. I'm not sure where it is, but I don't know what the rest of your question was, but I think it's just as tough, if not as, probably even multi-services. I'm sure we use the same as some of probably the Army or the Navy. But it's great. Some good training. I was going to ask you seriously, you got somewhere around the 26 until it was an 86. Always wanted to join the troops, but I am chubby and hate running. Well, you got to trim down and do a whole lot of running, hit the pavement. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to join the troops? That's your motivation right there. Do you really? PT, physical fitness, mental toughness, 100%. And you know what? At the school too, at this weekend at the Naval Academy, I saw a couple midshipmen or cadets or plebes, a little bit chunky, But overall, I can tell you almost every one of them looked physically fit. And I've never seen so many students running on one campus in my life. It was awesome. And we're there just 2 days. And it was a Friday, Saturday. Everyone's PTing. Everyone is PTing. Physically fit, mentally tough. You're building both of those while you're on them runs. And it's cold there. Physical fit, mentally tough. My mom was in the Air Force and now has PTSD when she hears fireworks. Is that normal? Yes, it is. But it's something she needs to discuss, something she needs to talk about, find a way to deal with it. So normal, it's the new normal, but she's got to work on it. Taylor was questioning his recruiter's honesty. Snowmobile races, ski lodges, snowboarding. We have those. Yes, we did snowmobiles. We did snowmobile races. The lodges, no. Yes, a snow cave, if you want to call it a lodge. There's lodging before you start the training and after, and snowboarding. All those things are available to you. So he wasn't lying. He was highlighting the great parts, of course, because they're not going to show you the video of a snow cave in a blizzard that collapses on you, which happens also. But you know how to combat that. You know how to get out of that. You know how to survive that. And that's what they teach you. Confidence in cold weather. You have to be mentally tough to be physically fit. I like that, Randall. You have to be mentally tough to be physically fit. Because there's times that you're not going to want a PT. You're going to be too tired because you stayed up all night studying, working, patrolling, whatever it is, but you have to get through it. You have to get to it. You have to get after it. So you got to be mentally tough to be physically fit. I like that, Randall. That's good. Absolutely. The Marine Corps woke me up to reality for sure. Respect your dad, especially in public chat. Salty, respect your dad, especially in a public chat. I left my arrogance on these little yellow footprints in 1991, right? Ego, right? That chip on your shoulder. All that BS that you have in your little 17-year-old body, get rid of it. And the drone instructors help you do that. USMC shock therapy, that's what it is. Culture shock, it's definitely 100% a culture shock. I'm telling you, the first day I was like, I went in with the buddy, I was like, bro, we made a bad decision right here. We made a mistake. We got to get out of here. This is not what I want right now. Not what I thought I was joining. It is yellow over here. Don't make me come through there. Your physical, David says, your physical fit, bud, but I need something. My mental toughness. Hello from Ukraine. Thank you so much for your support of the USA. Era. Doc Holiday. Salty, single, ready to mingle. Mimi, what's popping? Salty is single, ready to mingle. And he's got a high ASVAB score, right? And he's a contractor, right? Without rank. Salty's got it all going on right now. Got a truck he's been taking care of, babying for all these years. Salty's ready. I believe every recruit asks, what the hell did I do? Irene. But no Marine regrets it. Very well said. 100%. Man, can you imagine if any of us on here would have quit? And that meme, we need to find out how to put memes up on here. Maybe we will one day. The best meme ever. I joined the Marine Corps so I can talk trash the rest of my life. And obviously they used a different word. There's another good one though. Another one I just saw, and the guy was holding a Eagle Globe and Anchor. I don't know, it was a medal or something, just Eagle Globe and Anchor. Somebody sent it to me, probably somebody on here. Said, this is what I tell, this is why I am the way that I am. And he was holding an Eagle Globe and Anchor because he's a Marine. You got to see it. I didn't describe it well enough. That's why me and the Sergeant Major get along so well. Calm down over there, Doc. Doc says calm down over there. All right, so some great topics tonight. Again, it is Sunday. spend time with Jesus if you haven't already. We're going to, as soon as we cut this down, as soon as we land this helicopter. It's been a very busy week from last weekend, the Marine Corps birthday and Veterans Day, and it's been nothing but pure knowledge. Again, you can never stop learning, right? Know yourself and seek self-improvement, and knowledge is one that you can always learn more. And I did all weekend long. It was a true blessing for us to be able to go to the Naval Academy and hear from some of these instructors. What's her title? The superintendent had an awesome, amazing brief. Vice Admiral, she's the superintendent of the U.S. Naval Academy, full of knowledge, full of motivation. They're going to go, and she hasn't been there that long, a year, two. They said 1 year, and she is just going to kill it. The Naval Academy is going to get even bigger, better, stronger, faster. Whatever they're doing now, they're just going to get better at it. Motivating just to be surrounded by just a bunch of professionals just wanting to do well. Again, just with not just the physical fitness part, and we're up early. We're there on campus very early on base. And be surrounded by that stuff and the history and tradition. 1845 is when it started. The buildings, the motivation, again, there's statues and took tons of pictures. Just to know where our military has come from and where we are going. And there's been a lot of talk, are we going woke, are we getting softer, all those things. I think we are changing, right? And I think definitely now with the new administration that just came in, that will be here January 20th, it's going to right back to that era that we've always been. What we've needed, kind of a shakeup, right? And get back to those core ways. That's why I'd like to visit all the service academies. Just being around and being surrounded by warriors with that warrior spirit. And unfortunately, you get around kind of some people sometimes that are complacent, that don't have that fire, and it'll drag you down, right? It'll demotivate you. You want, as Marines, we all know you're used to being surrounded by everyone that wants to be number one. Everything you do is a competition. That's how these midshipmen seemed on base, the PTN, late at night in the cold, because they trying to get 1% better than they were yesterday. And that's what we all need to surround ourselves around, no matter where you are, no matter what organization you're in. If you're active duty, when you get out and you're surrounded by a civilian organization, and especially if some of them are prior service, anything, you just know it. Just in my head, I know everyone here is trying to compete against me. But unfortunately, it's not always like that. People get complacent, and it shows, and it's hard to watch, really. Why do you not want to be the very best? Why do you not want to make this organization better than it was yesterday? Why are you okay with being good? Don't be okay with that. Get out of your comfort zone. Get comfortable, once again, being uncomfortable. Work those extra hours. If you had time to sleep, then you had the time to do something to make that organization better. All right, Poolees and Osto. Sergeant Major, is the island of Iwo Jima closed off to the public, especially us Americans, due to the Japanese government taking back ownership of the island? So yes and no. It is not open to the public. You can get on a tour somehow, some way. Don't ask me how. I've been there a couple of times, but that was as an active duty Marine. I re-enlisted up there one time, and then I went on a tour, I think the 65th anniversary, excuse me. So it is definitely not open to the public, but there are organizations that do go there. I don't want to say obviously affiliated to the military, but somehow, some way affiliated with the military. So yes, you just can't take a private plane there and go tour the island. But I highly encourage you, strongly encourage you to find a way over there. Truly amazing, humbling experience. Both times I was there, we hiked up Mount Suribachi, and it was hard. I think I'm kind of physically fit, but no one was shooting at us. No one was dying all around me. I wasn't carrying a pack. I didn't have the 1945 boots and camis and heavy weapons and heavy ammunition and carrying all my water and food with me. I was just in camis, and it kicked my butt. So when I say I was humbled by these warriors back then who attacked Iwo Jima and won, truly, truly inspiring. Just walking on the beach, and we didn't come off mic boats. We came off a plane and walked to the beach. We weren't coming in from the water, again, being shot at. 6,000 died on Iwo Jima. So just walking up the beach in that volcanic sand that you would sink up to your knees every step. So like walking through heavy snow. Again, not carrying anything, just camis, just walking up the beach and then making it to the volcanic, the hard volcanic rock was tough walking through, boots getting torn up. Then making it to the base of Iwo Jima. And then we didn't go up Iwo Jima like the Marines did. We went around a road, a dirt road nonetheless, but it was a road. We didn't go up the side of it, which is a steep incline, and finally got to the top. Again, without being shot at, without buddies dying around you calling for medics and doing first aid. None of that. So what those Marines went through that day, truly, truly amazing. So if you ever get an opportunity, a chance, by all means, go for it. You have to. It's something that you have to see. Just the whole feel of being there, the air, the smell, right? The smell of the volcanic ash. Isn't that what Iwo Jima means? Sulfur Island, it's something like that. You smell it as soon as you get off whatever aircraft you went. So I hope that answers your question. There is a small base. Japanese National Defense Force runs it. There's a small airstrip that still runs. And that's the opportunity I had was when I worked in Hawaii at Marine Corps Air Station. We would take visitors, take VIPs to the island, and every now and then they would let us kind of hang out. They have a small museum, a PX, and some barracks, some building, and there's some permanent personnel, Japanese, that live there. But every time we would go anywhere in the Pacific, we'd try and stop by there and bring them some kind of supplies. They always needed something: food, water, bottled water, canned goods, fuel. So we still have an understanding. We still have an agreement with the Japanese. But yes, it's not just a tourist attraction. All right. The like button says, I have been to Iwo Jima. Awesome. They do allow you to take sand. So hopefully you brought a little bag yet. And this is just Marines told me, oh, make sure you bring a Ziploc bag, bring some sand back. That is authorized, and that's just to honor those Marines and sailors who fought so hard on that day, on those days. Awesome experience. And tell me that's not one of the most iconic American photos in the world, the flag raising of Iwo Jima. I think it's easily recognized by all Americans, military or not. That is an iconic image that everyone knows. 1st Battalion, 3rd Marines, 1-3, Bravo Company, 0311, hurrah, get some lost soul. 1-3. 1-3 was the, what's 1-3's nickname? Island Warriors, Lava Dogs. 1-3's Lava Dogs. At America's Battalion, 3-3. 1-3, one of them's Lava Dogs, one of them's Island Warriors. I think 2-3's Island Warriors. That'll make 1-3 Lava Dogs. And that's all the time we spent on the Big Island, them lava dogs. Lava dog is the lava rocks that will tear you up. And by the way, yeah, Marines were low crawling on the lava rocks and the lava sand. Just walking on that stuff tears your boots up. You take a knee on one of those, you tear your camis up. So you can imagine what they went through fighting through that stuff. Carl Green. I have a bag of sand from my vision of the 50th anniversary of Iwo Jima. 50th. Do you happen to remember what year that was, Carl? I thought it was at the 65th anniversary. 65. I don't know why that rings a bell. Which was very cool. Do you remember what year that was, Carl? And I mean, somebody can do the math, but I know I was at an anniversary because they had a reenactment. So they had Marines dressed in that era camis. and with the E-tool, and they even had some flamethrowers. 1984. Yeah, it was well before my time, Carl. I did. I went to the 65th. All right. That would make it 84, 94, 2000. 1983, sorry. Love it. That's awesome. Lava dogs. There's Lasso. Lava dogs. Yep. Little process of elimination, but I finally got it. Cadet Defendor asks, picking up the question about Iwo Jima. Too slow. I'm too slow, John. Put it back up there, bud. 1984, year I was born. Doc Holliday. You're young and Doc. Japanese and Germans thought Marines were all crazy. Mattis. U.S. Marines 2008, 2017, 7051 Crash Fire Rescue. The like button. That's the infantry of the air wing, right? Crash Fire Rescue. That's no joke either. They do some bunker drills. You part of the bunker drills, Crash Fire? I know you are. Up and down, hiking, all that stuff. Yes. Mattis. Man, he's loud. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, like button. I hear you. I did a mess night with Crash Fire Rescue ARF. They used to do every year they do in the summer, opposite of the Marine Corps Ball, they do a Crash Fire Rescue ARF field mess night. It's awesome. You guys are crazy. If you're talking about being physically fit, Crash Fire Rescue is fit. 1984 was a great year, Jared. All of it was. The 80s were great, all around. Keeping it real with the with everything back then. The like button. I did bunker drills and made guys do bunker drills. 2 minutes to get dressed, full fire gear, and yes, they do. It is. I'm telling you, part of the air station when I did 2 years with the air station, watching those guys work. Seems like they sit around and just wait. Obviously, you don't want anything bad to happen. You don't want crash fire to have to work. That means some aircraft or potentially someone's getting hurt. So you don't like seeing them do their job, but they train to do it every single day. Jared, very few Marines in World War II Europe theater. D-Day. Marines went at D-Day. Some of us were 12, 13 years old. Ain't that right, Sergeant Major? Yes, we were young in the 80s. Leandra from Brazil and RB from New Zealand. Glad y'all are here. Thanks for joining us. There it is. Okay, let me get it, John, this time. Why were Americans that fought and died in Normandy, France, allowed to be buried there, but not those who fought and died on Iwo Jima? So great question. I think what you're asking is why did we leave them there? And why didn't we bring them all home? Well, we are still in the process of bringing everyone home. The Honor Flight, I think it's called. Right? The Honor Flight is an organization that goes, that's what they do. We're bringing everyone home. So why Americans that fought and died in Normandy, France, allowed to be buried there? So they were buried, even on Iwo Jima. Every place that we fought in, immediately when there was time, we buried them there and took back who we could. And now that everything's over, the Honor Flight is one organization that goes to all these battle sites and they're looking for remains and bringing them home. Nothing we want more than to bring everyone home. And I don't know the count. Please look it up when you have a chance. Honor Flight, we know one of the guys who runs most of it. And that's their mission every single day. And I remember being an active duty Marine, every now and then they'd call down and ask for a couple of Marines to go TAD to help find remains. I don't remember the name of that request or that TAD trip, but we would send 2, 3 Marines and they would travel around to all of our past battle sites and look for remains. Bring them home. We want every single American home. Never leave a man behind. So I hope that answers your question. Salty says, some years back, I was back from Afghanistan from a contract, heard there was an honor flight landing in my hometown. Ran home, shaved, put on my dress blues, and went and welcomed the vets home. Awesome, Salty. So it is a huge deal. I think we saw one, we were in Hawaii when we saw that one. Hawaii, we heard same thing. We heard there was an honor flight coming home, and like 13 or 14, about 15 veterans that they were bringing home. And you got to imagine the process it takes to find out who that soldier, Marine, whatever they are. We're talking about DNA. So they're finding bones and they try and obviously get as much as they can. They bring them back. It's an honor flight. It's a whole process and ceremony and flag draped caskets, and they bring them home. We welcome them home. It's pretty awesome to know that it's still happening. They're not going to stop until every service member is accounted for and is back home. Awesome. Glad you got to see one, Salty. I know it was World War I, German, now the less. Again, it'd be interesting to know that's how many are we still missing, right? The OPOW, MIA, the missing in action are those. That's who they're bringing home, all of them. Robin Wyckoff served 79 to 99. That was the first firefight 6 months in the first firefight. 6 months in, 79 to 99. How'd that work out for you, Robin? So 79, so 79 to 99, what was happening? 86, 93, what battles, Robin? Man, some good topics, good stuff. Galroth, do you think 28 is too old to join? I've been wanting to make more of myself through service to my country. No, 28 is not too old. 34 is the oldest we've talked about on the show, what we've heard about. So no, 28 is not too old. Go for it. Physically fit, mentally tough. Go see the recruiter. Make it happen. You can. We got your back. Robin, firefight on the DMZ in Korea. Wow. The DMZ. Panama, Nicaragua, right? 80s. Yep. That was that time. Grenada or Grenada. Depends on how you say it. Got it. There's always an age waiver, right? Look at Joy. Facts. Always a age waiver. I think the cutoff is 28 for the Marines. Either way, if you missed it, ask for a waiver. Physically fit, mentally tough, you got it. Look at Salty says, not too old at all. In my first unit, I had a guy in my platoon who got an age waiver. He joined at 30 years old. He was a good Marine. So they had to recruit 31 years old when I was a drone instructor. Jared's 52, and I would re-enlist in the Marine Corps. Could handle me now. I don't know if we can handle you, Jared, but I feel the same. I would too. Can I join the U.S. Army as a foreigner? Evo, yes. Yes, you can. Talk to a recruiter. I don't know the process, but I know I've had many Marines who got their citizenship while on active duty, shortly after boot camp and their MOS school once they got to their duty station. So there is a way. Good morning, Randar. Jared, but if I was a drone operator, I get automatic E7. Yes. Gunny Grainer says, Marine humor here, but they need to have an honor flight to find and bring back McFlab's old body when it was within Marine and height and weight standards. I don't know. We need two honor flights for that, Guns. We gotta find all of it back. RB, does joining the military speed up the process for becoming a citizen? I'm not sure, but I just know that I have seen it in Marines in my unit. They have. Oh, it's red now. I don't know about the length of the process in doing it, RB, but you definitely can do it. I've seen Marines do it. RB, yes. Hammerhead, the basis says, yes, it does speed it up. Good to know. You're all welcome for this, guys. So Salty says, thank you for the info. That's good to know. Again, anyone on here that didn't know, that's a great question. Great information. Dave Bryant, we had a Russian soldier in our platoon. He was really beat up, but he made it. He caught hell in boot camp. You know what? In boot camp, I think I don't know why I didn't pay attention. He had a heavy accent like Russian or Ukrainian, or I'm not sure what he was. Good dude. He was big and strong, so nobody messed with him, but he just didn't, he had to be older too, because he was very mature, and he just didn't like the weak, softer recruits. Like, he had a real problem with it. Like, you better suck it up. Why you whining? You're getting us all in trouble, type of thing. He was like pissed off every day. He did well though. He did absolutely well. Been thinking about joining as a New Zealand SAS. Good thing is you don't need prior military experience to join. Serve your country, brother. I highly, highly recommend that. Yes, John McJunkin, send your complaints. There's a complaint box number, take one. Looks like a hand grenade, right? You've seen that? Complaints here. You're welcome. If you truly want to add a new chapter to your life to gain that experience, then just do it. It's an adventure worth experiencing. Salty, 100%, no regrets. You will not regret it. We had a South Korean in boot camp, says Jared. Recruit Kim barely spoke English, but he was hardcore. Remember, as a drone instructor, I had a few non-English speakers of a couple different ethnicities. And I didn't even think at the time to ask it as a drone instructor, you have your citizenship? But now looking back and discussing, I know for a fact they weren't U.S. citizens yet. Jared, Rock Marines are, the producer said, I've trained a lot with the Rock Marines, and they are tough. They have no problem with sucking it up in the Rock Marine Corps. Those guys are tough while they were physically fit, mentally tough, and disciplined. Awesome being around them. It does speed it up, and definitely should. Foreigners that join are some of the most patriotic people I met. They also learn American history better than most Americans. Many of my sailors become citizens. You know, I've seen the test, and I've studied with people studying for their American citizenship, and it is some history, some stuff I didn't know as well. That's absolutely, Hammer, you said it. I think those that do get their citizenship later, you give some of that same test to Americans now, teenagers and adults, and they would have a hard time passing that test. It's talking about the government, the branches, everything. It's pretty intense. Jared trained with a few Rock Marines on Pendleton back in '94. They're tough dudes. Jed said, my dad had a shirt from his time as a Marine, said, lead, follow, or get the hell out of the way. Stuck with me through childhood. That's awesome. Facts. Kabul, Afghanistan, 2017 as contractor, Rock Marines were some of the most disciplined guys on the base. I'm telling you, I got nothing bad to say about any Rock Marines. Cadet Williams says, are older veterans rough on each other? Funny, but rough. 100%. Yes. It never stops and it never gets old. That inner service rivalry is alive and well, and service rivalry is alive and well. I don't think it'll ever go away. We had a quick story. We were at a Marine Corps birthday ball celebration. 1st Marine Division was there. They talked to us. It happened to be a group of 2-5 Marines from Korea and Vietnam. And after sitting around just drinking beer at the end of the night, the ceremony was over. Some of the gentlemen were telling stories, some combat stories. And this guy started telling a story. And they're like, Dave, you tell a story, Dave. And Dave's like, all right, I'll tell a story. One time I was sitting in the bush and they all started meowing. They're like, meow, meow, meow. It's Tiger Dave was his nickname. Tiger Dave. He was sitting on watch. He was up late at night trying to stay awake. It was his turn to stay awake. And he said all of a sudden he heard something slowly walking towards him. He thought it was his relief, another Marine, getting ready to relieve him of his post. Turns out it wasn't. And he knew it wasn't once he started feeling hot air, like breath, in and out. He felt it. He said the chill went through his whole entire body. He didn't know what to do. He slowly looked up. It was a Bengal tiger. A tiger had snuck up on him while he's sitting in his position. His rifle was facing that way. He said the tiger was too close for him to even think about swinging his rifle around. He said all he could do was, but the first thing that came to mind was with his arm, just push that tiger away and scream the top of his lungs, rah, as he pushed the tiger away. And the tiger was stunned also, and like with both his paws, like try to grab his arm, and then Tiger Dave took off running. The tiger took off running. And even to this day, he had a long sleeve, or he had his blues on, of course. And they're like, let's see it, Tiger Dave, meow, meow. Everyone's laughing. I mean, that's a funny story. Not if you were Tiger Dave. Sure enough, he pulled his sleeve up and his arm was scarred over, obviously, and healed, but you could tell his arm got tore off, tore up. The tiger didn't tear his arm off, but probably could have. So that kind of stuff, yes, still happens. This was, 40 years later, and they're still messing with, and had a nickname of Tiger Dave. Even had a coin. I said Tiger Dave. He handed that out to all the Marines. So I hope that answered your question. Are Marines tough on each other, even older ones? Funny, tough. I think it never stops. Never stops, and I hope it never does. Good and bad. Builds camaraderie, builds teamwork, builds motivation. That camaraderie that just will never, ever go away. And being on campus, I had a lanyard. I think I had an SFMF shirt on. Not a whole lot of Marines, but there's Marine, mostly Navy, obviously. It's a Navy school, but every now and then just walk in wherever we were, Semper Fi Marine, URAH, Semper Fi Marine, Semper Fi Marine. It's that common brotherhood, sisterhood that just will never, ever, ever go away. Even on somewhere else, the producer had an SFMF hoodie on. Someone said, he came up and said, he came up and said, Semper Fi, love your hoodie. I don't know which one of you is a Marine, but love your hoodie. URAH. Of course, we reply with Semper Fi, my friend. So it is. Yes. Will that stuff ever die? Nope. And we better not ever let it die. Oh, man. Great night. Glad y'all joined us. It is another motivating week. Remember, no live on Wednesday. No live on Wednesday. We'll see you next Sunday. But once again, an awesome, awesome time spending it with you. We're all Marines. Doc, Semper Fi. Randall says, Marines have the most sarcastic humor ever. If guys get free gunny, give them equivalent fruit salads and hash marks to complete their package. No, see, it's not going to work. For that reason right there, can you imagine those guys sitting around, a bunch of staff and shows sitting around, and that gunny from college who didn't experience any of that, try and get in on that conversation. It's not going to work. All right. Yes, thanks, Lay Cookie. You do as well. Have a great week, everyone. How's the 249th birthday for the USMC? It was awesome, Daniel. And right here, talking about it, doing stuff that we do best, and that's being Marines. Yes, we're fanatical about just that, being Marines. MTU, base Marines that no one wanted, but finer coaches you'll never find. MTU, yes, marksmanship training unit. Yes, the MTU Marines. Never got on it. Always looked at the coaches like, man, I wonder if that's a good TAD to have. Never got it. Hope you and your family have a great Christmas from the UK. Awesome. Solanki, thank you very much. It is right around the corner. Carlos, batteries in the red zone, so landing this helicopter, top of the hour. I don't even know what time it is. Ooh, we're there. We're there. All right. Have a great week, everyone. Love y'all. God bless you. Keep the motivation. Like and subscribe if you haven't. Before I close out, give me a double tap. We'll continue to push and grow this community of like-minded warriors. It's still November. We're still celebrating the birthday, Veterans Day, and celebrating each other. Semper Fi to all of you. We'll see you 1 week from today. Semper Fi, my friends. Era.